Hey, my people, what's going on? This is Major TV. Let's talk. I have to clarify some things because y'all don't know I'm doing a big sit-up with everybody, right? Y'all think that when I talk, I'm just, like building bro GMJ up, right? But I'm giving this its due. I'm not gonna play games and act like what he has been doing has been major or not a big deal. His movement with NFAC was not only a big deal, it was historical big deal. It was something that was not expected because you had people like the Nation of Islam in place, right? You have people with large followings. You have people that have been around preaching like this for a very long time. And you have people that there are people that I think knew this. The Black Panthers already did this. They already knew about the constitutional rights and blah, blah. These was young college students and young people like that really was challenging the government. But I have to keep it 100 with you, right? I tell you all the I praise him. You can't see I don't praise him. But now I'm about to critique him. And this is gonna be the first time. There's a couple things I gotta touch upon. I had no problem with the fact that he owned himself and went out there and confronted white America, right? He confronted Black America. He confronted the world. My problem with Grandmaster Jay was he was doing too much of this once he got behind the camera. And even if he said gonna kill white people, right? Anybody that hurt Black people, particularly I'm talking about like somebody hurt us, right? Not just going to kill white people. I'm talking about actually going to retaliate. And this where people came down on him, right? Because the trolls, blacks, whites, the Black conscious community, you heard Tariq, hand busting no bullets or what have you. And I think he should have kept that mild-mannered, intellectual, smooth-talking brother, right? And every once in a while, show that fire in that rah, rah, rah. We about to get off some deep stuff today. We're going to talk about Sun Tzu, Art of War. We're going to talk about 33 Strategies of War by Robert Greene, right? He's the author of Art of Seduction, big book, I read it. He's the author of 40 Laws of Power, big book, I read it. And 33 Strategies of War, big book, I read it. I really study these books, right? Sun Tzu in this book, it ain't a big old book. I'm coming off this big old head of mine, right? I don't have no book around me, nothing like that. I didn't want and review nothing because I go off the brand. That's why when you see me, like if I'm in doubt, or if I feel like on something, I'm gonna look it up there. And that's kind of backwards, but that's what I do because I'm coming from, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to write everything down and be like, Sun Tzu, blah, 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 blah. I don't have no problem with it. For me, I don't want to come off ingenuine. I don't want to come off, I just don't want to come off a certain kind of way, right? So, but it's one of the old books this book here has been studied by almost every major general for your information, right? But it's a famous book by Sun Tzu, Art of War. And he give examples when Chinese had two parties that were fighting against each other, right? Just like the United States, the Civil War, North and South. Well, China had that too, right? That's how Japan was able to invade them, right? Because they had a lot of internal fights and whatnot. Well, make a long story short, Sun Tzu, he was saying things that made so much sense, right? And some things I got from other people when I was young, like, you know, if you know you outnumbered, you have to know how to do deception, right? Talks about that in the book. I don't want to explain a whole lot of things. If you know, if you're back against the wall, you always want your back against the wall against other people, right? If you ever studied Bruce Lee, and I grew up under the Bruce Lee era, right? Bruce Lee said your weapon is a body. Your elbow, your knee, your head, you know what I'm saying? Your foot, your hands, you know what I'm saying? So, but he's just talking about strategies, right? And in 30 Strategies of War, Robert Greene refer a lot in that book, Sun Tzu book, and he talk about a bunch of wars and strategies that people was using. And it's just not for like war. It's dealing in politics. This dealing with everyday life, right? You're in a position where you're strategizing and thinking, because when you look at the 40 laws of power, right, that's dealing with power, controlling power. You look at 30 strategies of war, that's dealing with strategizing on how to stay on top, how to win. You deal with all the seduction, that's about seducing, that's staying on top. Robert Greene specializes in talking about stuff dealing with control, right? Being able to control your emotions and what have you. Like he said, the hardest thing for man to do is control himself, discipline himself. He's playing it extensively all the seduction because we got caught up, you know, with the women, you know, the queens and whatnot, and everything. You know, Cleopatra, she was the queen of all. She seduced 2 Roman generals. You know what I'm saying? But what that was, because I throw it out there. Since Caesar and Mark, you know what I'm saying? Mark Antony, and Caesar, she seduced. That was a black woman, right? Seduced 2 generals of Rome, powerful people, right? But get back to what I was saying. I just threw them books out, right? Y'all probably heard about these books. Of course, y'all should have. They're very popular. The problem with Grandmaster J, y'all, that we have to understand, it's an old saying: you never let your left hand know what your right hand knows. Under the 5th Amendment of the United States Constitution, and when you get stopped and being arrested by the police, what they say? Anything you say can be held against you in a court of law. You have a right to remain silent, or they go into your 6th Amendment now. Or you have a right to attorney, that's intertwined, right? 5th and 6th, we talk about attorney, right? What happened to Earl Albon Vad? What they saying about Casanova? Too much of this. Now we know that he got arrested for so-called pointing the gun at officers, right? But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that he did so much of this where he opened the door for attacks, right? From the white militias, from other black people and the black conscious community, you know, and whites in general. And I'm about to go deep on y'all. Y'all got to stay with me. I'm serious. I'm going deep on y'all. You can say white folk this, fuck them. You can say whatever you want, right? Excuse my friends. I don't like cursing like that. I'm just saying. But you still have to watch what you say. Because if you say, they killed me, I'm going to kill us. They kill me, I'm going to kill you, right? They kill us, we got to kill them, right? That he's just trying to demonstrate and show. And I support that. I see he's doing that, right? I support that. But don't talk it. Don't talk that rah-rah about shooting somebody, because by right, I'm about to go deep, y'all. Stick with me. Stick with me. By right, when you look at 33 strategies of war, or the what Sun Tzu, Robert Greene, 33 strategies of war, it's a thing called guerrilla warfare, right? You know what? Now, I'm about to bounce around with the history. You know how United States beat Britain, right? Britain, they just would have a formation walking forward and shooting. I forgot the white guy name, and I'm not going to try to go look for him and have him on the screen or whatever. I just want to tell you, you can go check it out yourself. He changed the whole game by getting the tree and just shooting them down like a sniper, right? He did all kind of stuff that was just unorthodox at the time, because they had a standard military code and how they would go into battle, right? Lining up, walking, he knocked them off, and he killed the damn I believe general or somebody like that, or the commander, what have you. So they wasn't ready for that, and they went on inside the tree and shut it, let's get let release United States, let them do what they do, right? You know, they let them go, you know what I'm saying? And whatnot. They know that's their little sister, that's their daughter, their son, child, whatever, right? So let's go to Vietnam. The little small Vietnamese kicked the United States butt, right? Because the United States was not expecting that them people would go as extreme as, I mean, they would be in trees, they would sacrifice their body. I mean, it was just so much. I don't know, like I said, I'm not a historian in war and all that, right? But what I learned is guerrilla warfare is win by any means. And the Vietnamese, they look, I don't know if y'all watch the videos, I don't even laugh, I don't laugh. That was serious on both sides, right? United States. But man, the American soldiers all the way through to the capital, they was getting on helicopters, man. They ran them, I'm literally ran them out of Vietnam. I said to say what? In America, and the violence against black, I'm gonna say this because I want to get this clear, all right. Grandmaster Jay could have had a guerrilla, could have had guerrilla tactics, right? He could have came out, and I'm not saying he don't have it, so I'm not over talking. But I never heard no police getting killed, though. The ones who was killing other people. I heard the 2 officers got shot in California, right? But I'm just talking, right? I am talking. We having a conversation, right? And I don't believe it had nothing to do with them, but that's not me. I don't know what's going on. I'm just throwing something out there, just having a conversation. Now, whatever you do gonna be on you. And I know what's coming out of my mouth, I'm just only stating from the Bible. I'm scared. I say the Bible, you know, it's a little too late. It's New Year's, so you know how it is. But I haven't been drinking. I'm still on the truck. We'll make a long story short. That's documented in books, right? And what I'm trying to say is, if you had some kind of guerrilla tactics involved, or some kind of missionary squad, I'm just trying to travel, but I'm trying to go somewhere. You could have had people going there, gone. And you don't have to be associated at all. Let people speculate. You just gotta make sure they trail. You just gotta make sure they trail cover. It's as dangerous, especially going against the most powerful government in the world. Yeah, that's dangerous. It could have been done, because that's why how the Black Liberation was doing. Excuse me. I say Black Liberation on me. Let me not say that right now, because it's kind of hazy, but back then they had, and y'all should know historically, I don't know the Black Liberation Army or the Black Panthers. See, because I really don't want to talk about it. I forgot about who the person was and how it went down. But they was on a mission to kill police because they was killing black people, right? And they wanted to get killed, called locked, or what have you, but they really was about the business, right? And it was really underground, but there was a certain person that crossed my once he got to Africa. Because I ain't gonna call a person nigga. I can't remember. I don't want to put the wrong name. He's supposed to African funds supposed to fund it, right? And send the money to them to keep them going what they was doing, right? That was guerrilla warfare. Because they was killing police. And he went to Africa. And I might go look it up. Depends. I say go look it up. And he supposed to send the money to them to keep them afloat. Remember what Baby said with him and BG? You know, I'm from New Orleans, right? When they was having a little thing when he split, you know. He told BG, you better listen to Tupac. Don't start no war if you don't got your money right, right? Meaning that if you get into it with somebody, right? Normally the person with more money can maneuver and sustain what come his way, versus the person don't have no money or money tight. They don't get in the jam and call slipping, right? So what they was doing back then, that brother man got money from African nations, but he kept it, and he wasn't feeding the brothers over here. And they was putting on some guerrilla type warfare tactics that was like on some covert stuff, right? Till it got exposed, right? History is all is documented. Go Google, get on YouTube, right? I'm saying, if he wasn't talking like we'll kill y'all and blah blah, you know, you don't say that like that, right? It's like you don't point no gun nobody, you don't shoot. You just don't come out and say that. And this is for future wise, the future of other Grandmaster J's or what have you. Because you gotta remember, the war is fought in all kind of ways. It's a spiritual war first, mental, physical, emotional, financial, and global. It's a big war, right? And you got people, like a lot of these small countries that have been fighting, that's what they was doing. Right? That's like when you see how the Irish they were showing the history of Irish and Britain kept getting into it and whatnot. How it was bumming and all that stuff the Irish was doing over there in Europe. That's guerrilla warfare. They know they couldn't beat Britain one-on-one. And them people waged war with Britain for so long, right? Because you gotta realize they wasn't even accepted as white people. But United States decided to change that. Early 20s with Italians and Irish in turn and say they're white, give them the fire department, police department, so forth, so on. We can talk about that later, right? But that's what I'm talking about. When they kill such and such, go get them. When they kill such and such, go get them. Because he was talking like that, right? But you do it in a way where it don't have to be right, and I could be 6 months, yeah. But it's a strategy to it. And don't get me wrong now. Hope I ain't talking too much. I just have to keep it 100. Because they had a brother, right, that responded to the fact that he had mixed feelings about Grandmaster J and so forth, so on. And he was talking about how he didn't agree with this and how he didn't agree with that, right? And he was talking about some of his spiritual beliefs and how he be talking. But he said he still supported him. And I kind of gave my 2 cents in a minute. The other young brother was going back and forth, right? And I brought up to say that you're going to have that where people going to see something outside there. It may not disagree, and that's cool. We can agree to disagree. But my problem is people are watching what you say and do. So you got to be conscious of it. And then when he said, I forgot to mention, he had said, then I think he talked too much on social media, right? I agree to a certain extent, right? Because I know that Grandmaster J he's not in that mindset of the Black Panthers now. You know? He's there, but I'm saying he's not all the way. He's trying to sustain the educator before anything happened to him, or you have to go out there, go out guns and blazing, right? Busting bullets, right? The situation, and don't wrong, we know Black people that they killed some police, right? And that was after the Baton Rouge incident and somewhere else where 2 military guys shot police, and a black woman come out, and she was bold. She was like, she supported that, and I admire that, because ain't too many black people come like, oh, she was like, I'm glad they shot the police, whatever. And they had to, the white folks to get on CNN, and she kind of had to piggyback, because then they were jammed up about that, right? Because you can't say nothing bad about police and white people if they get killed, right? But they can get on there, and a black person get killed. They go talking about his background, his daddy being in prison. What they got to do, what's going on? He got killed, you know what I'm saying, by the police. But that's racism, right? That's why you got to be bold enough when you open your mouth. And that's what happened to Farrakhan and everybody when they're going on about the Jews and all that. All the truth they were talking about, they were the piggybacking. Then you got rid of Khalil Muhammad, you back talking about the Jews again, like, damn, Khalil Muhammad was just talking about that. And you just exiled him and got rid of him. But you back talking like that, so we got to realize what's going on, right? So I'm just saying, y'all, that we have to be careful that we are the powerless, right? We can say we say we have a First Amendment, we don't have a First Amendment. They sent us across the board. We sometimes had to go to court and fight like 2 Live Crew did back in the day. We don't have that right, you know what I'm saying? And at the same time, like Nelly Fuller Jr. said, we ain't prisoners. We are prisoners. I say like we're on parole probation. We still have to use tact. Because a lot of people, when you're talking that rah, they get a little scared like, damn, you know what you're saying, bro? People are just not sitting around like me just by accident. We watching and see how they knocking people off and doing stuff. And we haven't had nobody like a Martin Luther King and Malcolm X since I don't know what, because once people, we said if they're killing us, oh Lord, I don't want to lose my family and whatever. We going to get in that fear factor kicking, even though I don't believe we naturally scared. I just feel like we looking at the situation where it's kind of uncomfortable. So, he have to definitely come back, with a better strategy and not overly express himself, even when teaching, That's the thing that I talk with you about and show you some things, right? But the thing about, if I dispel or critique anything he did, I knew he was coming from the heart. I can tell the way he was delivering. I seen the brother in Lafayette and how he was talking, and you can see the passion. I already know what's going on with him. But now they silenced the brother, so I know he thinking. He got to think around him, and they really like chopping it up. But you can't leave yourself open for them to come at you like that, even though I feel like they were going to try to get it anyway. But when it come down to what he was trying to do, and I'm not saying, trust me, I don't know the brother personally at all. I don't know what he has set up, whatever. I am just telling you. And I'm not just talking to the Grandmaster J followers and Grandmaster J. I'm talking about future people that inspired by him in the movement and might want to do their own thing, if in fact don't really grow into what it intends to be, Understand what you're dealing with. See, I criticize the Black Power movement for being, I like these words, political correct, right? Saying words not to offend, you're talking about racism, you're talking about history, whatever, but they're tactical, right? But it is a safe way to be. But the problem is, when you're not following your words with action, you go to talking, you become commercial, right? You want all these donations, you want this, that, I want build content, whatever. Look, I ain't doing it, but I got a tripod with my phone holding it. I've been paying for the phone, paid for my tripod. What content, what? Like if you can't afford books, go to the library. You know what I'm saying? If you get Kindle like me, every so often you can grab your free book, right? Or just buy the book. I mean, that's like Tariq wanting donations to do documentaries. Like, you don't need no donations for documentary. You just, if you got hustle, you're going to raise the money to do a documentary. Point blank. But you do all that to spoil the truth, but you're not giving nothing back in the community. You're not doing nothing specific. Now, you got the, what that is, foundational blacks and blah, blah. You are undermining ADOS, you know what I'm saying? Adas, whatever. You know, I be killing words. Y'all know I be murdering them, pow. But make a long story short, it's just counterproductive, right? But getting back what I was talking about, I'm about to close out with this. We have to worry about, he said his mouth, it's not a battle, it's a war. So if you know it's a war, Grandmaster J, you gotta let that military mind. You've been in the military. I've never been in the military. But I watched a lot of military movies, and that don't make me being military on mind, but I just admire strategy, right? I admire logistics and stuff like that. I admire the fact that you're outthinking somebody, right? And you might get in their situations and you have to think on your feet. You know, that's no more when you do a simulation process with the people that's flying planes and whatnot. They gotta do like they gotta fake like they're riding a plane to see if they can make a land and something happen right now, right? Because they process them in their head and whatnot. I know that's not the same what I'm saying about me watching military movies. I'm saying, right? But I just saying when he says a war, then we have to definitely be mindful that if we go to talking rah. And don't get me wrong, we don't have to do nothing. He didn't have to do nothing. But you do open yourself for massive criticism. Because see, what they was trying to do, the angry white Vikings and the other white militias, they were trying to bring him out. They was trying to get him in trouble. These people, FBI and them that arrested him for that nonsense charge, they've been looking for him when he hit the scene possibly. Right? And that's why you see it was so method for the funny charges they arrested him for. But, one, don't say too much on social media. Two, you got to have an underground movement, right? The guerrilla warfare. And even if you ain't gonna bust bullets, you gotta be able to have people you really trust you can talk to about, right? That's not gonna be a part of COINTEL, that old COINTEL type thing, or FBI situation, or some kind of infiltration, you know what I'm saying? Or agent going to snitch or informer, right? And lastly, you know, you have to stay on code in reference to the fact, understanding what you're doing, right? So when he started to make these videos, monumental facts of feelings and whatnot, there was a lot of stuff he was throwing out there, right? And I had some issues with it, and then I'm gonna address that problem this weekend, right? And I'm gonna get some clarity with it. But I support him because I know what he was doing, where he was coming from, right? But you came from the gentleman to start schooling, right? So as you schooling and giving information and what have you, you got everybody listen, FBI, everybody. And we gotta be careful how we say things, right? Right now they calling him an Asian informant because Tariq said what nobody don't talk like that, blah blah blah, and what have you. Which is true. He wasn't lying about that. But my issue is, but they locked him up, so he must be the truth and not an agent, right? But he's still not conceding and stuff like that. He come with conspiracy theory that hey, that's just fake. That's raised money, whatever. Then you got Delta saying the same thing going on. Barry the American Doofus show, he's saying the same thing and what have you. And this dude, he just ridiculous, right? You know. But to make a long story short, I just had to talk about that. To all the war and 3 strategies of war. The thing is, and Robert Greene is good at explaining this. When you go in war, it's all about deception. It's all about throwing your enemy off, right? Again, don't let your left hand know what your right hand know. You don't do all this. When you have war, like when the United States was going at Germany, they were strategizing on going Germany, right? Or going drop them atomic bombs on Japan. They never knew. So we have to remember that you don't give your hand away when you're about to do something or doing something. You just do it, right? And in Grandmaster J case too, you should have had lawyers set up, right? You had to expect that this was going to happen, right? We have to open our mind. We have to see what's going on. And I'm talking about people, black people. I ain't just talking about grandma, I'm talking about black people. We have to see what's going on. Like he said, it is a war. So you gotta think like it's a war. You gotta, I'm gonna say how Robert Greene said 40 laws of power, right? I'm gonna be quick, right? I'm gonna be quick. There was a, I'm gonna break it down. There was a handsome guy, and he was eloquent. He was very intelligent, you know about a lot of things. He had a little money. He was all right, right? And that's the beginning of the book. And he was saying that the Lord, I think Louis XIII, I believe, liked him. All the courtship, everybody liked him. Women liked him, what have you. And one day, somebody drew a cross with him with Louis. And the dude was smooth. He was bad. He was not nice. They wound up snatching dude up. They drew the cross and hung him. And Robert Greene said that anybody can possess power, and anybody can get power and money, right? Anybody can get that if you put your mind to it and whatnot. These millionaires and billionaires, they was focusing. They went for it, and they know what they had to do. And it could have been an upbringing or just something inside them said, I want to do this, right? And they grew and they become powerful. But guess what he said? Very few people possess charm, charisma, in the hood with swag, right? You see the most beautiful women just can get anything they want, just know how to maneuver. You got some of them handsome brothers, nice bodies and stuff, and women just, people say, oh man, just everybody gonna be cool, right? And he said, when you have these special qualities, charisma, charm, swag, you just know how to have the right words. You ever been around somebody and I experienced, brother, just smooth, just smooth. Everybody who that is, like, damn, man. All right, and he just like answered everything. I mean, I've been admired by people like that, right? Look what he said. He said, you have to deceive people and not show everybody what you possess and what you know, right? He said, look, let's play chess. He said, I don't care if it's your wife, girlfriend, family, friends, co-workers, enemy, what have it. Look at you playing a game of chess. You trying to checkmate their king, they trying to checkmate your king. And he said, he gonna make moves, he gonna do things, He gonna move the pawn. He gonna move the bishop. He gonna move the rook. He gonna move the knight, right? He gonna move the queen, right? Every move he make, right? Don't take it personal, right? Understand it's a game. And he just break it down about looking at things like that. And I see how grandmas be cursing and going off and what have you. And be you, because I get loud. I may put a little profane. I try to watch what I say, right? But you have to realize the people he talking to is a lost people. The people he's talking to religions. He's talking to people that's been indoctrinated with religions. Indoctrinated with a lot of refurbished information that his people originally created. And when you try to de-brainwash, decolonize, that's a hard task, right? But I say all to say this here. If you're moving in for the kill, to liberate your people, it's already said that blood will have to be spilled, right? There's no non-violent movement. And I'm not suggesting that we're going to automatically have a war with them. Got to go to war with them. I'm suggesting that if there's no change, right, the next generation may have to do that. I don't know, right? But don't get me wrong. We are growing this company. We are everywhere. We are in the White House everywhere, right? We are all these big corporations and what have you. But every black person not on code. So Grandmaster Jay have to remember that he's still playing a game of chess. All that screaming out, that's cool, but be mindful who you're talking to. And be mindful what you're trying to do. Because what he wants is separate now, I want separate. All of us, I don't care how Afrocentric you want to be, how pro-black, black conscious, what have you, we're going to still have this westernized, Eurocentric way that comes over us, that we don't sometimes recognize, that we have to constantly fight to push out. We're able to do it in processing fast and catch as opposed to somebody that don't. But I'm about to drive something soon, and I'm gonna have to do some little critiquing, cause I brought y'all in my house and I sit y'all down, right? And we had a conversation, right? And I'm hearing about, oh man, so and so this and that, what have you. I'm saying, yeah, blah blah blah. But now I gotta talk about so and so. I gotta show you some things, because he have to realize whether he want to accept it or not, you got caught slipping. And even though they build a case on him, he need money for a lawyer, right? And I'm not saying brother don't have no money, but I know he's trying to go for broke. When you mess with a legal case, you go for broke. The government found a crack. Government found a way to get in there, right? And then they dangling him in front of people, right? Dangling him. Hey, we call Grandmaster J. He on house arrest. He can't walk around with guns. He can't talk on social media, what have you. And then you have, I'm gonna be honest with you, be real with you. Now you want me to be real with you? I'm gonna be real with you. They had more whites than blacks trolling Grandmaster J. After Grandmaster J got locked up and all that, you have more blacks trolling. I'm talking about like these leaders, these YouTubers and whatever. I'm hearing more from black people than white, which I know they're celebrating and jumping for joy, what have you. But a lot of them, I think, especially the white militias, are kind of borderline because they know they're violating Grandmaster J Second Amendment, right? And they can also affect them, right? So make a long story short, that's what I wanted to say. So process what I'm saying, right? Understand what I'm saying. We have to be careful. Nelly Fuller Jr. said, we all are in prison. I seen a brother drop a video, right? And he said how the correct way to deal with racism, right? And he showed a black dude punched a white dude in the face. I forgot the brother telling because somebody had sent his link to him, not subscribed to him. He be talking about Grandmaster J a lot too. And he says that that's the really right way to handle it. That's a judgment call for me, right? Because I've been in a situation like that and I got my ass locked up. And like Nelly Fuller Jr. said, when the police come, they race soldiers. They're not coming to find out what's wrong. They come and lock you up for fighting a white person, right? And what I'm trying to say is, when I say I locked up, it's a different conversation, but my thing is, we cannot always act out emotions and just respond, right? What the old saying, sticks and stones may break my body, but words can what? Never hurt me, right? Not getting me wrong, I am not secondhand somebody calling me N-word. I'm not saying it. I'm just saying sometimes, because I've been in positions, even on this road, but I literally broke white men down out here. Literally. Well, y'all want to hear about that story? All right. Because y'all got me going long. I'm like, whatever now. I was in, I don't know, somewhere in America, right? And I was, and it had a nice fancy Walmart truck stop. It had wide seats and had a large size white woman sit down. And I sit like in the next chair. And it had like nice little lean, short white man, right? He come to me, he said, hey, you. It's like 2, 3 in the morning. Hey, you. And this is the truth. And if this brother remember me, you know what I'm saying? He probably said it. He said, hey, you. What you doing sitting by my wife? And I stood up. I said, what? I said, man, I'm sitting way over here. And he was like, but that's my wife. Blah, blah. I said, first and foremost, you going to hold your tone now. I said, you going to hold your tone now. And I wasn't yelling or nothing. He was at the top of his verse. I said, look. I said, you can have that right there. I said, but one thing you're going to do, you're going to respect me. And I got this face, right? I said, you're going to respect me. I said, you yelling, you talking crazy. I said, you gonna respect me. I said, I'm not no child, you gonna be screaming at me, whatever. Which I understand he was doing what he do. And I know he wanted to call me N-word, right? So, as he was going off, I pull off for Ali, right? I said, look. I say, you don't want none of this. He ain't call me no word, no. He ain't call me no negative word. He ain't call me N-word. He didn't cuss me out. He was just going off. I said, you don't want none of this. I said, look, if I put these hands on you, I said, I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna beat you so much I'm gonna make you cry. And I tell people that I get mad. I say I'm not gonna make you cry. Just because you doing all this shit, talking that noise, you know you're not about that. I said, but I'm one black man, you know what I'm saying? You play with, it's going down. Ain't gonna lie, he bucked a little more. I just like let it go, right? And the black dude come, he said, man, I just left the military, man. I saluted a colonel, and he slew me back, and he said he did something. He punched him, right? They kicked him out, what have you. He said he's sick and tired of what they was doing. And it was like 3 years ago, right? They're killing us and blah, blah, blah. And I told the brother just like this. I say, but yet you still don't let nobody push a button on you. So going back to the incident where the guy showed the video, right? And he let the white guy push, but he punched him and what have you. And the dude said, well, tell the next white was not tell the next white people not to play around with blacks. And I'm like, no, he's still living. That's what you interpret. He might look at it a whole nother way. And feel like, now we gotta kill these people, right? So that's what I'm saying about that, y'all. So this video was 40-something minutes. I'm so sorry. I gotta get up and go home. You know what I'm saying? Happy New Year's to everybody. I wish y'all the best. I'm not the holiday type guy, but I'm trying to like respect those who do that. You know what I'm saying? And happy Kwanzaa and whatnot. It's still going on. Look, that's all I have to say. You know what I'm saying? I love Grandmaster J. I'm gonna constantly donate. You know what I'm saying? I'm donate every week. I donate tomorrow. It's gonna donate probably tomorrow. I was supposed to do it today. I was busy. And I'm gonna start donating to Umar or Johnson, man. That school, man. We gotta get behind that too. But right now, let's focus on Grandmaster J. So that's all I wanted to say, y'all. I dragged out and what have you, but I get caught up in talking to my people. I love y'all so much. Y'all be so hyped. I be like, I gotta let y'all know what's going on, right? Because this big old head got so much information. They call me the brainiac, right? Because I just be like, so it's gonna come up my head. I mean, where they come from? I ain't read that. I mean, it's crazy, y'all. So thank you for everything. Leave the comments. I'm loving them comments. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button. Once we get to 1,000, that's to go get 1,000. Let's start going live. We go live and really interact, because I got some things I want to do. Today is January 1st, 2021. We're going to do what? I dropped this video now. We're going to turn words into action. So, y'all know what I'm about to say, because I'm all over the place right now. Stay focused, stay on cold, just be black.